Well, I have a confession to make. Last time, I think, when I left off filming, I just taped this up to dry for the gluing up, and I got to looking at it later that night without the camera. I didn't film any of this, so I don't have proof. But without the camera, I was looking at it, and this angle here was more like this. If you can see that. Anyway, it wasn't going to work that way because the books wouldn't lay in there correctly as a bookshelf. So I had to take it over to the bandsaw, and I cut as close as I could at this glue line here, and I broke it apart, and that didn't work very well. So I went ahead and went back to the table saw and resawed just enough to take the crappy edges off from the bandsaw, and then I also had to run it back through the planer because I thought I could fix it, and by sanding it and using a hand plane on it, try to get it to fit. And I always think I can do that, and I never can, and it never works, but I always have to try. So anyway, so I screwed up the surface too. So I went ahead and I replaned and recut the miter on here. And my problem is with the old table saw I have, it doesn't really go to 45 degrees. It's close, but it's off. And I always have to mess with that. But this time it just, for whatever reason, maybe because of the way I was taping it, it didn't work. So anyway, that's my excuse, and that's what I had to do to get it back to here. But I didn't film any of that. And I always said if I ever made mistakes, I would just film them and add it in. But that two things about that. One, it makes for a really long, in my case, it makes for a really long segment or movie or whatever you call these things. So I didn't film it, but I'm honest about it anyway. So anyway, that's why it looks maybe a little bit different than it did, but we're right back to where we would be. You know, this part of the glue up is done. The edge here is a little bit different. The profile is a little bit different because I had to replane it, so it's not even. This side didn't have the same lip as this side does. And that's true on both sides, on both edges, both the upright and the flat part. So that's where we're at, and then we'll just move on from here. Okay? Thanks.